This is one I made earlier. So we've got a tiled roof and a brick wall, and I thought, why not put it into a turret? I'm only showing the technique, not to scale or anything like that. But so, yeah, a couple of windows could be handy if you want to make a gazebo in your garden or even make a castle. But that's the sort of thing we want to make. So we'll go through this. So we'll get rid of that one. We'll start off with a circle. We'll draw a circle and we'll give it 2. Yeah, bearing in mind I'm working in meters. Now, on the circle, we'll use spacebar, which is our pick tool. So if you're in one of these tools on the left, square, circle, press the spacebar, you'll go back to the pick tool. First thing we want to do is change this circle. By default, it will come up, if you look to the right, entry info, gives you the radius of 2 meters, and it gives segments for 24. What we want, we'll double that with 48. This is where people say SketchUp can't draw circles. You can type 999 in there. On a 2 meter circle, it's a good circle. But anyway, so we've got a circle and this is the start of our tower. The reason we only want half a tower, but the reason you can't split, you can't draw half a circle and pull it up. I'll show you why. We only want half a tower, but if we do, we use a tractor tool and we'll go out 2, 2 and draw. This will bring our half circle, and if we do it again, this is what we're intending to do. Now, in theory, you should click on here, move tool, and go up, but it doesn't like it. The geometry is not right for what we want to do there. So we'll do an escape, and we'll get rid of that. We'll come in, and we'll do a circle. Circles work a lot better. So we'll go out 2, enter. We'll click on the edge and we'll change the segments to 48. Double it up. Don't worry about the reverse facing because we're going to delete that in a minute. We'll come in, we'll draw on the left pencil and we'll go up. Press the up arrow, brings you on the Z axis. Yep, so you constrain, you can't go any other way. And we'll go up and we'll type in 3 on this one. So that's 3 meters. Now what we want to do is join up and make a triangle. Now if you come along and just go along the green axis here and press shift, it will constrain it to the green axis. Take it out to the outside, click on the edge and then click back in the middle. And we know that this triangle now is perfectly straight with the green axis. If you get it wrong, you can throw your geometry out. Click on this triangle. We're going to use this to follow me around to make our dome. So we'll click on this first edge, get the move tool, click on, and we want to go along the green axis. So we click the left arrow key, and we'll click on, we'll do a control, so we can duplicate the line, and if you press the green arrow key, we'll constrain it along the green, and just type in 0.2 and it will just bring it across. You'll see in a minute. We'll do an escape and click on the upright and do a control, green, 0.2, and that's good. This is what we need. We'll come in and we've got to erase some geometry here. So we'll click on the keep the upright post in the middle. You can use that as a guide in a bit. So there. So we've got the upright post in the middle. We'll use that in a bit. This will be the thickness of our dome, and we'll use a circle to run it round. So on the circle, click on. It's one continuous circle. On the left, we'll come halfway down, follow me tool. We'll click on that and we'll click on the face of this And there we go. And we've got our half, oh, we've got our dome. So all will become clear why it's got a hole in the top in a bit. But yeah, we're good there. And what we need to do now is cut it in half. Because drawing that half circle, I tried different ways and it didn't want to know. So what we need to do is split this dome in half. Now, a good tool we've got is bottom left is section plane. And what this does, we'll keep it on the blue axis and we'll click on. Yep. And it's taking the wrong. Oh, no, it will work, yeah. If you see, and what it's done, it shouldn't, there we go. We go up. It cuts your object. So if you do it on the side, it'll cut it sideways, do it on the top. And if you've got a big building, you can come in, use a section plane and look inside your building or look inside your object. Yeah, and this is what it does. But be warned, any other objects, if we delete that and we come back, it's not permanent. That's the thing, it's not permanent. But if we had a square next to it, it will affect that square. So if you want to cut this in half and you've got other objects, copy it, highlight it, copy it, put it in a new sketch, cut it and bring it back in. Because I'll show you why. If we'll come in, we'll try it on here. We'll put it on the green axis this time. Yep. And what it is, when you click on till it changes blue, do the move tool. See, it's covering any other objects that are in the sketch. Not great if you want to keep the others in one piece. Just be warned on that. And we'll cut this cone in half. So we'll come in with the face tool. We want it along this green axis here. No, we won't. We'll go to red. On the red, but we'll line it up with that line that I put in the top. We'll use it as a reference point. So there we go. I used the lines as a reference point, so it's cut that in half. So our dome's cut in half. Now, it is not permanent, but there's a plugin, so you right click on it now. And on this plugin, there's two bits you can use. You've got, where are we going? Add section cut face. I don't use it very often, but if you click on this, it'll bring up a big list because we've got open edges now. And you can add sections to it and colours and stuff like that. You can do it like that. But what we'll do is, we won't do that. So we'll right click on the blue and then we'll come down and we'll put slice model at selection. And then we'll press delete and then we've got half a cone. We have got open edges. In this instance, it won't matter, but if you want to join them, you get the pencil tool, just run it up the edge and it'll put a face on there. Same with the other one. Just run the pencil up the edge and then we've got a face. So we've got our object there. That's what we're going to use for the roof. We'll click on the front. We'll do a control move, which will copy it, and we're going on the red axis, and there we go. Right click, make a group. Now this is important if you want to use Flowify. We've got our first group. Pencil, we'll click on the edge of the object, and we'll come along the right arrow key and strain it to the red. Doesn't matter how long it is, we'll just draw a line. We'll come around to the other side, we'll draw it along. It will constrain to the red, but if you press the red arrow, you're guaranteed. And then your inference off the other line there, click. We'll pick the one line and we'll pick the other line. We'll right click and we'll make that a group. So we've got two parallel lines and our object we want to wrap our wall round, or our tiles round. Next one, we need square tool, come off this edge, the first line, and then we'll come along, we want it on green, red. Doesn't matter if you can't get it on the end, just click away. Double click and press the scale tool, and then we can bring it and join it. And what we want to do is join it to this line, which it clicks to, and then we'll pick the middle one and we'll go up, and then we'll inference off the top of the dome, half the dome there. Yep. And then we'll right click and we'll make that a group. So we've ended up with 1, 2, 3 groups. So we want to group this group. So we do a control, click these 3, right click, we'll make that a group. Now, if you've done it and Flowify likes it, we can go up to extension, top, we'll come down to Flowify and come down, it says impose grid. But if you get to this stage and you've got these lines, you're on a winner. So we'll get rid of the grid lines. We'll double click. We'll copy this. We'll copy this face here. We'll click away from the group and we'll do an edit, paste in place. And then we'll grab this face and we'll just move it to the right, a tab along the red axis, keep it on the axis. Now what we want to do is do it on the face, along the bottom edge with the control. So we've got the face selected, bottom edge selected. We'll go up to OOB, and I have got a preset already in here, tile small, and it's half the size of my normal tiles. It makes it wrapping around a little bit easier. And what that's done is just put the tiles on this back edge. Now, press OK for that one. Important thing, double click. No, tell a lie. Right click and explode this group. Just one time. If you don't explode it once, it won't work. It's something about the geometry on it. So right click on the group of tiles and explode it just once. So now we want to pick the tiles, move them across, pick an edge along the red axis, and we'll join them back onto the face that we had there. Yeah, this is the excess geometry, I think, that messes it up because it gets left behind. So highlight it, delete it. So we don't want to click on our 3 grouper, and then we do a control and click on the piles. We'll go up to extension and Flowify and press Flowify, and there we go. It's done its business. And if you look, it's come in and it's wrapped the tiles around all nice and neatly. Now what you need to do now is click on, and we need to bring it back onto our cone to give it some thickness. So if we click on the bricks, click on an edge and come back along the red axis, and we can just, because we've been using everything on the red axis, we can just slide it along. There we go. It is now, we've got a, I mean, here you can join this edge up if you like, along the side. Along the side. And there we go. Now, one thing you can do, make these tiles look a bit better. It's not going to make any difference to printing, but if you highlight, right click, soften smooth edges, and it takes out some of the geometry. If you do a Control Z, if you look where the tiles have been bent, you've got geometry there. Right click, soften smooth edges, done. Now these ones here will go, if you go to extensions, you should already have this in if you're using SketchUp, clean up, with the last setting. It comes in its reduced edges and that. If you press OK, all it does, it takes out that geometry. It doesn't affect anything, but it takes out the geometry, makes it look a bit smoother. Right. I think, did I group it? No. So what we need to do now is highlight the whole of this, right click and make that a group. If we copy it and then we scale it, left side, scale tool, click in the middle, push it across at -1, and then we do an edit and a paste in place, then we got our roof as we want it. So if we want to highlight that, we need that bottom bit to make our other wall. So if we click underneath, just highlight that wall piece there, we can use that as a guide, copy that, and then highlight that, make that a group. That's our roof done, really. We can put a finial on the top if we're really worried about it. We've done with the Flowify stuff, so you can highlight that and delete it. And then we'll do a paste in place, edit, paste in place, so that part of the wall from underneath. So what we need to do now is isolate that back wall. Now you find it segmented. So if we delete the bottom segments and triple click on this outside and delete, and then we triple click this line here and we use the plugin Super Weld and we weld that. So the reason we want this line is as a length. So if you come to the right, you've got your entry info and it's their length 5.65 meters, 24 segments. Absolutely perfect. So what we need to do now is we're going to make some a wall with some windows. Easy enough. We come to the rectangle tool and we start drawing a square. And if you look bottom right hand corner, we've got the measurement. So we want it 3 mil thick, so we'll do it at 0.3. And if you press a comma, it goes to the other edge. And then we want it at the length of that line, which is 5.65. 5.65, enter. So in theory, this wall, once wrapped around, will be the same length as this one, this line. So we'll see if I got it right. Right click, reverse the face on this, so we've got the white face facing us. We'll pull it up to make our wall, and we'll give it a 3 meters, just 3. And that's all that is just a plain wall. We'll triple click, right click, and we'll make that a group. The reason being is if you start adding windows and pulling the geometry around, it's easier to work on the windows separately. So we'll put some windows in, we'll get our tape measure, we'll come down top edge, down 0.5. And the same again on the left, 0.5. Might as well give it all 0.5, make it 0.5. So, right, we want width of the window. Where we go? We'll go a metre wide, so 1. Yeah, and we can draw a window in here. Square tool. Find out when it comes to the crosshairs, it will change to a cross. So, you know, where the guidelines cross. Click on, find the other edge. There we go. Don't know why that's coming. That reverse that face. A window. But we're not drawing on the back. So this window here is separate from the back one. So whatever we do here won't affect the back wall yet. So we come to the window. We use our 2-point arc tool on the left. Find the center of this window. And if you scroll across the line, it will pick up midpoint. So your inference on the midpoint, and we'll come down, and there you go. We'll tangent to edge, that'll do us. Tangent to edge, it says there. Haven't a clue what that means. But if you go to that, change it, and it'll just go blue. Double click, and it gives a nice sweep. Do the same with the other one. Well, it's gone midpoint there. There, it will go blue. And that looks like an oldie tulip. We'll get our rubber, take that geometry out. And I took their guidelines out. It was bright on me, wasn't it? We need them. So we'll delete the geometry we don't need, that extra bit of window. And double click. And we'll move this window. We'll use a move tool, click on the edge. We'll do a control along the green axis this time, so it's left front to back. We'll come across, we'll move it across. If you've constrained it to the green, it can only go one way. Come across, and it will inference off these crosshairs there. Click on. Now, don't click on anything else. And if you do a divide two, so /2, enter, it will stick another one in. And you can do the same. You could have moved that to there and then times it, how many you want. So it's just a bit of a shortcut. So, right, yeah, we're good now. We know what we're doing. We can get edit. We can delete the guides. Don't need them. What we need to do now is highlight these three windows. Yep. Copy. Actually, we can cut them and then cut them. Open this group, this wall. So wall's open, and we do an edit, paste in place. And what we should have done is these will all be separate, but they're on the wall now. Click on one, use the push pull tool on the left, push it. Now it will change to like a shady blue when you hit the back. If you can't get that shady blue, sometimes it goes like that, and you look through and you've pushed it miles out. But what you can do is inference off an edge. So if you start moving it and come to this midpoint there, come to there, inference off the edge, it will pop it through. Now if you double click on there, it will remember the last one, and there, and it's remembered it. So all good. We've got our wall, pop the windows out. The wall's still a group, but we can do an edit, and we'll paste in place, and we've got them windows back. We only need one of them, so we'll delete them two, and we'll make a window. Highlight this one, and then we go into the plugin, which is divide selected face into panels, which is basically a window panel. Come up with a nice panel divider square. It's got number of rows 3, number of columns 3. We'll have 3 rows, but we'll change the columns to 2. It's only a small window. Frame depth. Well, I think we popped this at 3 mil thick, so 1.5, absolutely fine. Frame width, 1 mil, that's fine. The only other one you need to do is divider width. If you're gonna, or you can't FDM print this, but if it was FDM printing these windows, 0.04 is a good line to use on an FDM printer, because it will print one line on your windows. And I just press create frame, click on, and then we've got our window frame there. Now, it's got glass in it, and if you leave the glass in, it can mess up the slicer. It just doesn't like it. So double click and highlight the glass, because it is in different groups within here, and you can just press delete and take the glass out. Now, personally, I don't want them under. I want to move them. That's the front. I'd move it to the back. So highlight the window, grab a corner, and just pull it back, and it'll inference off the corner. And same again, we can click on the corner of the window we just done. We do a control, move it along to the inference off the other corner, divided by 2, and then we've got our 3 windows in there. Super duper. Come to the wall. Now we want to put some bricks on it. Open the group up. Just click on the front of the wall and copy it. Click away. So we've got the window frames are all groups and the walls all groups. But we've got an edit, paste in place. There we go. So we want this to add our bricks, but if we add our bricks to a hollow wall, it messes it up. So it needs a separate face to it, which we've got now. Want the bricks to run along the edge. So we highlight the face and the bottom edge. We come to OOB. Now, someone was asking, or the OOB, well, this is a magic plugin, and you can set whatever you like to make brickwork, block work. It's got floor joists, you name it. It is very controllable. Now I've got my own presets here, and I've got a presets for Bricks Linker, because I used to use that Plaster Parish Linker system. So Bricks Linker is my go-to brick, and I know that it works. So the length of the brick is 2. It's not rivet canted style. It just works. I know it does. And click on, and your bricks are there, and press OK or apply. Yep. So, and what it does, it just cuts it round the windows. Yeah, we're all good, and that will print lovely. What we need to do though is flat wall's no good. So click on the wall, click on the windows by pressing Control. So we're selecting the wall, the 3 windows, pressing Control again, and the wall. So we've got all them, and we right click and we make that a group. Yeah, so now that's all good to go. What we need to do is bend it round. Now, because this is a 360, it's quite easy to do with a thing called True Bend. Another plugin, click on your object, click on True Bend, and this is the problem it has. These are the arrows where if you pull it, if I pull it now and press enter, it will take a minute, but the axis, hopefully, is wrong. And it has bent it where you've told it to, but that's not right. So we do a Control Z, and what we need to do is align the axis on it. So if we come in, if we click the group, where's the axis? We have to come into left-hand side, axis. I'll tell you what we need to do is double click, click on the axis, and it's like the world axis, but this is the axis for this group. And we need to change it. So we need to come where the green axis is going right, we need to go along there, and that will say red. And then we'll go back there, green, and the blue automatically goes up in the air. Hopefully, when we click on it now, and we go to True Bend, we've got our pulling tool right in the middle. It's just that for some reason, the axis is not always the way you want to pull it. You've got to have this little red arrow in the middle if you're going to pull it backwards or forwards, where you saw what happened with the other one. So, yeah, we're good on that. Click on the red arrow. Now you can bring it forward, but we want to go the other way. So we'll just start going backwards. Bottom right hand corner, it's got angle there. We'll press a 180, enter, give it a second, quite a bit of geometry there. As you can do it. Oh, there you go. Yeah, and it's done it. So click on this lot. This is the excess geometry that was added when we put the bricks on. Don't need it. So we're good to go. What we need to do, we can do, is line this up, I suppose, with this circle. And when we drop the roof down, it'll be on it, won't it? Good thinking. So we'll click on this and we'll line it up. Hopefully, it'll be outside, won't it? Somewhere. Perhaps not. We'll see. So, same again. We want to duplicate this. So we click on, we copy it. We use our scaling tool in the middle. Push it through, -1, enter, edit, paste in place, and we've got our round turret. Click on it, one side, click on the other side, right click, we'll make that a group. I don't know if it's going to come down on top of it. On the top, click on, and we'll come down and we'll see if it sits on top. Probably not. No. So for some reason, perhaps I didn't do it the right size, but there we go. We will be able to move this back so it lines up. I've lost a plot here somewhere. We have the technology. Click on the edge, press the up arrow. Click on that edge. Yeah. So what I've done is obviously I picked the wrong edge to measure because I would prefer the roof to be overhanging, not on the inside. Can remedy it. Click on the roof, use the scale tool. We click on an edge and we press shift with control and it will scale it uniformly, and we can come out and you can type in a number here or you can guess it. And really, that's a bit of an overhang on it. And that's it. I mean, you can put a bit on the top if we really wanted to. But what size? I don't know even what size that is. It's all right. 0.5. We can make something up to go on the top. We'll draw a circle. That was 0.5, so it's 0.25. Come into it. And we can do the same as we did the follow me tool. Right click, reverse face. Use the plug-in center finder, finds a center. We'll draw a line straight up. So now that looks like it's going up, but I can assure you it's not. It's going along the red axis. So always press your button. If it looks like it's going along up in the air, click on, and it's not. It's gone along the red axis. Very deceiving at times. So click on the middle and up arrow. And same thing. Yep. Come down and strain it to the green axis. Get on the green. Oh, I've not put it. No, it's all right. I've not put it on the on that green line, so we can't do it on that one. And there's various ways of doing this. You can make it look pretty. We can draw a few, I don't know. This is where the artistic bit comes in. That's not my scene. There you go. So delete that edge. Oh, that's different. Click on the face, follow me tool, Not that. Click on the face, click on the, click on the edge and follow me tool, and then around. Blue side is not good side, so right click. Actually, if this is in separate segments, now you can highlight it all to reverse face, or click on one and reverse the face. Now, a bit of luck, if you click on that again and right click, orientate faces, it will do the whole object. So all your faces will be facing out. Now, to make sure that this, you might want to print this separate, you can draw a line somewhere along the edge and it fill the centre in. And it's as easy as that. Highlight it, right click, make a group. And then we'll just plonk it on top. So remove tool, if we're doing up, on the top. Oh, I haven't got the centre of it now, have I? Oh, we can. Look. Up. Too small, scale it up. Do a control. Make it a little bit bigger. And just move it into place, really. I could put some guidelines in, or I can just plonk it on there. Right, that's my little tower.